Why cheat when you can leave the relationship? Some people get a dopamine hit in their brain from cheating and a sense of comfort and familiarity. Being in a relationship, they want both. I came close to cheating once. And it was because I didn't admit to myself just how unhappy I was in the relationship. I kept telling myself I can make it work. Then I was put in an environment that had several ladies that were happy to talk to me and be around me. That dopamine hit was massive, and I can 100% see how it can't just happen. Luckily, I allowed myself to be honest about my feelings and broke up with my ex before I did anything. Do everybody a favor, always be honest with yourself. From my understanding, it's better to have the safety net of the familiar and go do whatever than to end things and risk things not working out. Easier to use someone as a safe space and explore rather than taking the risk alone. Cheating is, famously, a thing people only do after thinking really hard about it and weighing their options. Because you can't cheat when you're not in a relationship, duh. There's also a certain thrill of sneaking around. Some people get off on the gotta hide whatever feeling they get from cheating. Also, if they leave the relationship, then they lose whatever perk of that relationship. It's hard to survive in the world on a single income. When there are kids and a mortgage involved, that's easier said than done. Not condoning it, but conventional and flawed. Wisdom often values stability and security over honesty. And sometimes people just get stuck in abusive one-sided relationships, but their upbringing has taught them to stick it through no matter how bad it gets. The short answer is the person cheating usually, and often accurately, perceives that they, and often their children and perhaps even their spouse. Believe it or not, very few cheaters simply don't care about their partner's well-being. Would be financially devastated and emotionally traumatized by blowing up their shared household. And since no one cheats with an intent to get caught, this is the way to remedy the missing spark without sacrificing the household stability of everyone else. Cheating is a suck-ass thing to do, and I'm not defending it, but many married people are financially bound together but unhappy. It's the wrong thing to do, but it may go some way toward explaining it in many circumstances. Well, in my ex-wife's case, she wanted to continue to be 100% supported financially and still cheat. Do people really not get this? People don't want to be single or in a new relationship. They want all the perks of their existing relationship plus the thrill of something new. They aren't trying to be fair or considerate or reasonable. They want everything they already have plus more, and they think they'll get away with it, so no one will get hurt. My marriage ended with infidelity. The video I linked is full of wisdom on this topic. In my experience, it didn't happen all at once. It was a gradual thing. 1 year we were a little distant. Then the distance grew cold. And then we were like two cubicle workers making our life run. But along the way, there were exciting milestones that made me think that we were succeeding. That we were happy. A graduate degree. The purchase of a little home together. The decision to try for a baby. The joy a year later when we finally succeeded. New jobs. The birth of our kid. Moving to a new city. And there was heartbreak. The death of his father. My battle with postpartum depression. Job loss. Illness in the family. My parents divorcing after 40 years of marriage. It was easy to point to those things as the reason we felt so far apart. We weren't ready to admit that there was something broken between us. 2. So, I assume, when his coworker was a sparkly new friend, and they found themselves working late at the office more and more frequently. Over time, I'm sure their pull toward one another just grew. But here's the thing. My first marriage was over before he cheated. The question, as Esther Perel puts it, was whether I would spend my second marriage with the same person. His new partner made it an easy answer for both of us. I don't blame the cheating for my divorce, though. It was just a symptom of something already wrong. For me, his affair gave me clarity about the fact that we hadn't been happy for a long time. It's been 7 years since we split, and our daughter is incredible. We co-parent beautifully together. He married his coworker. They have a 2-year-old together. And she's a great stepmother to my kid. My career has taken off and I'm remarrying later this year. I am so grateful he asked for the separation and for the person I became after my divorce. Cheating isn't always this black and white thing people make it out to be. If I'm trying to put myself in a cheater's shoes, then the 3 reasons I would assume are: 1. Lust. This form of cheating is physical and not much thought out into it. 2. Happiness. This is when someone feels trapped. Marriage, kids, history, and just wants a moment to escape and relies on the affair partner to make them happy. 3. Safety net. Cheaters think about it this way: why would you leave a job without having another job lined up already? It ensures that they won't go through a period of feeling undesired. Why take a vacation when you can quit the job? People want to keep the comfort and stability of a relationship while also doing things. Or people, I guess. They would if they were single. It's awful. Some people are legit skeezy. Others are genuinely in love with their partner but also have other sexual needs. And don't know how to square that circle. I'm definitely against cheating. But I think it's important to challenge the idea that cheaters are all evil, weak, foolish, etc. Cheating is quite common, even among people who maintain otherwise healthy relationships. I think the cultural fantasy we have that 2 people can always fully provide for each other's needs, and that true love conquers all, is really quite childish. A fairy tale. Certainly it is not 100% impossible for 2 people to be able to meet most of each other's needs. It can happen, but it's incredibly far from universal. I don't think that everyone should be polyamorous. But I do think that many people really need to be and should. And that some people need to be but don't have any of the skills necessary to manage polyamorous relationships. I've never cheated. BTW. Psychotherapist Esther Perel has a lot of really intelligent and useful stuff to say about this topic. She's helped a lot of relationships come back from that place of broken trust. And she is much better than I am at explaining why cheating doesn't necessarily mean that the cheater is a bad person or doesn't love their partner, and at explaining why our current cultural views of romance and relationships really set a lot of us up for failure. Which is not to say that all cheaters are loving, good people. They are certainly much more likely to not be than the average. My point is more that it's not a universal thing, and we should be looking more deeply into this. When a person cheats, it isn't always about dissatisfaction with their current relationship. Some people are just morally bankrupt and will seize opportunities to get laid. In other cases, it can just be a natural falling in love with someone. A thing that doesn't necessarily become impossible just because you're in a committed relationship. A quote from a show I like: "The heart doesn't always care about what the brain knows it would never do." Of course, some people do end up cheating because they are unhappy in their relationship. And they don't end it for a myriad of reasons. They may not want to deal with upsetting their partner, or worry about the process of splitting up, whether it's from marriage or not. For some, if they feel like they can get away with maintaining a fulfilling and exciting side relationship, while avoiding the unpleasantness of ending their main one, they will go for it. I've always had this mentality and have discussed this in my serious relationships. I'd rather someone tell me they would like to see someone else than do it behind my back. I would never forgive a cheater. I remember a comment about someone who got a call from their partner, who told OP that they didn't want to cheat, so they instead broke up with OP right then and there. I don't know about you, but I would prefer that over cheating undercover. 18 years of child support.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.